Ever pondered what it takes to leave a lasting impression in the Hollywood industry? It has been nothing short of spectacular for Gene Hackman, a man renowned for his legendary roles and extraordinary talent. What transpired, though, after all the wealth and fame? Well, his family was devastated by his wealth and the unexpected result. Stay tuned as we explore the emotional aspects of Gene Hackman's financial journey and the unanticipated consequences it had for his loved ones. I promise you'll want to see it through to the very finish. Born in San Bernardino, California in 1930, Gene Hackman had modest beginnings in his career. Hackman, who was raised by a single mother, did not always possess the sparkle and glamour that come with being a Hollywood star. In the cutthroat world of acting, it was quite difficult to get recognized. Although Hackman had to work very hard in his early years, his commitment and love for acting eventually paid him. Following his success in the 1960s, Hackman starred in some of the most iconic movies of the 1970s and 1980s. Hackman rose to fame with films like Unforgiven, Superman, and The French Connection. He frequently gave powerful performances that were brimming with unfiltered passion and remarkable nuance. Although Hackman was adored by many, his enormous net worth, which he amassed over decades of arduous work, was the most intriguing aspect of his career. Hackman had a staggering net worth of $80 million by the time he retired. Yes, $80 million. Hackman had amassed an enviable wealth from his acting career alone. He was wealthy enough to live comfortably for the rest of his life, had homes in several locations, and drove a variety of high-end vehicles. But the emotional toll it took is what truly sticks out in spite of all the financial affluence. Hackman never showed off his wealth. Despite his accomplishments, he actually always maintained a low profile. The catch is that his family wasn't as thrilled about his wealth as the general public was. Why? Well, the tensions that accompanied Hackman's growing riches also increased. There were duties, expectations, and a degree of stress that no one anticipated. Families of affluent people frequently feel overpowered by the lifestyle that accompanies excessive riches. This was also the situation with Hackman. His family suffered from the emotional strain, even though they valued the solace that came with his wealth. Living in the shadow of someone with such a successful profession is difficult. Hackman's family had to handle their own connections with him, which occasionally grew tense, in addition to the ongoing attention that came with his notoriety. It was particularly difficult for his kids to be linked with someone so well known. They frequently felt underappreciated in light of their father's extraordinary success. There were also extremely touching moments as his ex-wives also had to deal with the difficulties of his financial success. Hackman's family eventually acknowledged that his fame had hurt them more than they could have ever imagined. Confusion, annoyance, and occasionally even loneliness were the reasons behind the tears rather than happiness. Nevertheless, Hackman never gave up on his family in spite of these emotional difficulties. He did, in fact, make time for them, particularly after he retired from acting in the early 2000s. Even in those more sedate years, the specters of his fortune persisted, despite his efforts to live a more tranquil existence away from the limelight of Hollywood. The tears shed by his family were a mix of relief, sorrow, and the understanding of how challenging it can be to live in a world where money seems to take precedence over all other considerations. Hackman worked on making amends with his family as he gradually left the spotlight. They realized that having money doesn't guarantee pleasure, and that sometimes the ones we care about the most could not value the same thing we believe will make them happy. Not only did Hackman's wealth transform his life, but it also permanently altered his family's dynamics. Looking back on his life, Hackman has found serenity, but his tale serves as a warning that happiness isn't always correlated with wealth and celebrity. The relationships we have and the affection we share with others are ultimately what count. What do you think then? Is pursuing fame and wealth worthwhile, or is the emotional toll too great? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. For more touching tales like this one, remember to like and subscribe. To ensure you never miss an update, remember to click the notification bell as usual. I'll see you in the upcoming video.